Okay, you remember a few weeks ago we felt really lucky because we were able to spot the 2 jumping spiders and we saw one of them doing the mating dance. Well, guess what? We have a preschooler! It's a little baby! Can you even believe how lucky we are? Look at this little guy. He doesn't even know how to read yet, but he's a very good jumper. Look at him jump. Oh, he's a good boy. By the way, this is my very first time ever holding a spider, and I wasn't even scared, so I dropped him off at preschool. Look at him jump. Oh, that's a good jump. I just want to be friends with all of the spiders. I just wonder what they think of me, because they certainly are shy, and they don't really want to, look me in the eye. But I want to be their friend like Toshi. Oh, thank you. That was nice. With that, it is 4 o'clock, which means it's time for tea. So for today's tea recommendation, we are actually recommending a coffee. This is a mushroom-infused ground coffee from Peru, and the beans are grown at a higher altitude, and then they are slow roasted to release a more robust flavor. And I found a new version of my favorite tea cookie. These are Milka Choca Moos. They are little tiny cows. It's my favorite tea cookie because I love dunking them and they just taste better, and the chocolate is all melty and I love it. It's delicious. Paired with the mushroom coffee, it was a pretty good combo, so all around it was a very delicious tea time. I was walking by my wax plant and I noticed we have tiny little white flowers that are blossoming, which is great. Good luck for me. But then I looked up and I noticed that somebody else was moving in uninvited. I hate wasps. And I don't even think they really contribute anything to the environment. I know they're pollinators, but I sound stupid when I say it in a plural tone, like wasps. After a long period of consideration, I made the tough decision to pull out the morning glory bush. It just, look at it. It's been looking like this for a long time and it just wasn't getting any better. But it was still a learning experience. So the thing that I learned about morning glories is they get a little wild, they self-sow like crazy, and they really need more room to grow up. They get really, really tall. They can get up to 16 feet or higher. And I'm not really sure why this vine wasn't doing well anymore. I gave it a couple months to kind of bounce back, but it just wasn't really doing it no matter what I tried. I tried fertilizer, I tried more watering, I tried giving it a little bit more of a drought period. It could be the soil. On this side, I don't have the best soil, and I've been meaning to learn how to compost, which I understand in principle, but in practice, there's something about it that kind of intimidates me and freaks me out, and it's just one of those things on my long list of things to do that I need to sit down and learn, but I'm being pulled in 1,000 different directions, which I'm sure you can relate to. Yeah, pulling down the morning glories was a little sad, but also very satisfying. And it's cool to know that all of this kind of came from one vine that got really, really big. But the cool thing about this vine is I grew all of this from seeds, a packet of seeds that I got at Home Depot. And I think that's pretty cool. I know it's an invasive plant and it kind of grows like a weed, it grows really easily, but I was still able to come really far and still walk away with a lot of learning experiences. And then I was kind of thinking about this wall that's behind me. I wanted to cover it with lattice, and I have some pink and purple morning glories. I have a ton of seeds and I have some that are already growing. And I thought, well, if it's easy enough to grow, then maybe I should cover this whole back wall with lattice and then just let the morning glories take over. But if something goes wrong, it's kind of a pain in the butt to clean it all up. So I guess I'm just spending more time considering what to do with that back wall. I talked before about my idea with bougainvilleas and pink black-eyed Susans, which I ordered weeks ago at the Sunset Nursery, and then they finally came in. So now I'll get a chance to show you what this nursery actually looks like. The last time I was filming here, I was actually not filming. I was a big dummy. But this nursery is so cool and it's so beautiful. And there were actually a lot more selections here than there were last time we visited. And, we came here on Mother's Day, so I think everything cool was kind of sold out because it was a really big business day for them. Anyway, I went to the back to let them know I was here and they brought them right out and I was so excited. They are so very pretty. Now these were about $42 per 5 gallon, And these guys were great. They like loaded them up for me. They brought them out to my car. They also even put like down a plastic sheet so like the soil wouldn't get all over my car, because we had to kind of like lay them down to be able to fit them in the back of my car. And when I got home, I got to see how pretty they looked next to the studio. Like the color complements it so well. And I was kind of reconsidering where to put them, because there's this area back here that we worked on last week with the morning glories that we replanted. Yeah, they're not doing so well. Neither are the ones down here. So I don't know. I'll give them a shot to kind of bounce back and try to grow up the lattice, but like the only ones that are surviving are the ones at the very top. So I guess I was kind of thinking about putting one of the black-eyed Susans in that corner, and maybe they'll do a little bit better. We have some Shasta daisies that are opening up. Love them. They don't smell good at all, but they sure are pretty. And then these are the morning glories that I was talking about, and they're ready to go. They want to grow up and away. So I guess I don't know. I'm still watering them and taking care of them. Oh, and replanting these are gonna be a nightmare. We have some more spring blooms that are emerging. This is on a succulent plant, and these are actually cutlings that I got from my neighbor Mary, who lives down the street. She has a huge succulent garden, so every time I see her trimming her garden, I always ask if she'll leave out the cutlings for me, which she always does. She leaves them in a big plastic bag, and then I take them home and I replant them, and they do really well. On this side, these are the newer ones that I had just picked up about 2 days ago. That's the great thing about succulent plants, is they're so resilient, and they do a really good job of just bouncing back. So these are a really good option for people who are new to gardening, who are just kind of trying it out for the first time, because these plants really thrive on neglect. Like the only way that you really could kill them is overwatering them. And then even then, like if you just let them kind of go through a drought, they'll bounce back. So like normally when I get new cutlings like this, I would like put them out in a little bottle of water to grow new roots for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. But I find that like if you just wet the soil and you stick their little tuchus in there, they do a good enough job on their own to grow new roots. So yeah, they're great. I love them. So lately, I can't stop thinking about this project that I want to do, which is to put up a pergola in my garden, which I know is going to be really expensive. But I can't stop thinking about it. And the main thing I want it, well, there's a couple things, right? There's a couple functions of it. The number one thing I really want it for is I want to hang a macrame swing on it. Something to know about me, I love swings. I don't know why. Ever since I was a little kid, I really love swings. I think it's like, it's a sensory thing that has always kind of like calmed me down. So every time I'm sitting in the garden in the morning and I'm drinking my tea, I just think about how nice it would be to be on a swing. The second thing is during the summer, it gets very hot back there. We get like, it's direct sun all the way through the entire day. So if there was a pergola there that was made of wood, I could always do like little drapery projects on there that are temporary, and I could, put them up and put them down. So, I could make it into a little tent if I wanted to. This summer, I really want to do, there was a project that I wanted to do last year that I never got around to doing. It was during the Barbie movie, and I wanted to make like a little, like kind of a Barbie swimming pool area. So my idea this time is to get like a little kiddie pool, and I want to put like flowers in it, maybe some bath salts, I don't know, but there's also like water heaters that you can put in there so the water isn't going to be like freezing cold. And I just want to lay back there and have, just splash around a little bit. Because one of my favorite things that me and my neighbors used to do is we had like it was like a little dog pool, like a fold out one. And on really hot days, we would fill it up with cold water and just put our feet in it and sit in the shade and just talk all day. And those are some of my favorite memories. And one of my favorite neighbors moved away, and I'm really sad about it. But anyway, that kind of inspired me to like take it to the next level and create something that's like, I guess, very aesthetic and pretty. And it could be in the shade of the pergola, and I could do a drapery thing around it and put flowers in the water and play my favorite music and just have a nice space, because like the garden is really becoming my safe space. I really love it. I really value my time that I can just sit in peace and be out there. And I will say, like, any day that I can get out there in the garden, at least spend like 20 minutes just sitting there, like I always have a good day after. So I don't know, I definitely have to get permission from the landlord, and I don't know if he's going to say yes. Also, can I just show off for a second of this little treatment that I did right here? Isn't that pretty? Isn't that the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen? My friend Jessie got me this chandelier. She said it was $50, and man, that's great when you got a friend that looks out like that. Thanks, Jessie!